lick you from your head to your toes, and I wanna move from the bed down to the floor, and I wanna you make it so good I don't wanna leave, but I gotta know what's your fantasy. Welcome to What's Your Fantasy. I'm Daisha.
I'm Michelle.
I'm Taylor.
And today we'll be talking about strippers. Talk about strippers versus exotic dancers, and stuff like that. You want to start?
All right. Well, when I think of stripper, I think of just taking off your clothes for money, um, and you don't need a pole for it, and it's not really like something that takes skill. When I think of like exotic dancer, I think of like something that's like above average, doing more than, just your mediocre performing and taking your clothes off. So I do think that there's a difference.
I know how in class we kept doing the stripper versus entertainer, but like I said, I think it should be stripper versus pole dancer because technically, in a way, they're both doing some form of entertainment. Um, I think strippers are mainly just those who twerk and bounce their ass and take off their clothes, and then pole dancers are people who actually work the pole, like do the acrobatic stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. But my thing is that I don't know, I think one of the conversations that we really were trying to have is the respectability of either or both, and I just feel like that's something that's a personal preference. That's a lot of the times in class we'll discuss, especially when we had our guest speaker, Dr. Carter, come in. We had a really heated discussion about what's respectable and what's not based off of race and other aspects of the dancing, and I just feel like it's a personal preference. So if I decide that I don't respect something, I don't necessarily need a reason why, but that's just how I feel. And if you decide that you want to respect it, then you can do so. And feel free.
Yeah, I remember she played the videos of those white girls from like Europe or something, and they were doing the thing where they had a choreographed dance, but they were topless. And I don't feel like those were comparable because they weren't doing anything in a sexual way. They just didn't have a top on. Like they were literally kicking their legs up and going like this. I don't find that sexual anyway.
Yeah, I think one thing about, at least for me, for respectability is intent. Like, it's easy to say, well, if you have this certain amount of clothes on and you're being, I don't know, deviant, sexually deviant. But I don't think you can really measure it by that. You have to measure it by intent. At least for me personally, in order to measure respectability. So I can respect a dancer not wearing anything, dancing on stage, just with the intent to perform and to show her art, opposed to someone shaking her ass, even if it is the exact same dance, it could be, but with the intent to sexually please for money, that's not respectable in my eyes.
I agree with what Michelle said. I completely 100% believe that the intent makes a big difference. Whether it's, just it's because you something that you love and you want to show people what you love to do just because, or if it's like trying to please the opposite sex or whoever, by showing off your body. I just think it's completely different.
Yeah, 'cause I feel like in something that I would deem as respectable, or something that I would deem as not, this is a little bit more classy, would involve some sort of like, just it's something other than sexual, like attraction. So when dancers dance, I feel like they're not, even if they're barely clothed, I don't think it's because they want to show off their bodies. It's because I feel like dance is best done with less clothes, just because in the art, the
It's
nature of the art.
airy.
Yeah.
You have more room to move your body. You have less, restricting clothes on you. So it helps in that case.
Yeah, and then you can also see the movements better,
Mhm.
close cover movement. So that's why I think like it's easy to respect a girl even if she doesn't have any clothes on, depending on what she's doing and why she's doing it. But it's hard to respect the stripper to me because it's just like in the videos that we saw in class, we saw the European dancers, and even though they were white and that was a discussion, I just feel like the difference was the fact that they were on stage doing the performance, doing the show for entertainment, not just for sexual entertainment, but just for entertainment. And then I feel like, and they were telling a story too. Like they were telling a story, obviously. Like we knew what was going on. They looked like sailors or something. I don't remember the exact story, but there was a story behind it. And then with the stripper that we watched, which was a completely different scenario, video, country, culture, background, all of that stuff. Um, that video was just a stripper. It was one stripper by herself, twerking on the floor with some dudes throwing money at her. Like there was no purposeful intent behind that video. She was just shaking her ass for some cash. That's it. There was no beauty behind it. There was no art behind it. There was no nothing. It was just do a little something trying for a piece of change.
Well, that is all for what's in fantasy today. Have a good time.
I wanna lick you from your head to your toes, and I wanna move from the bed down to the floor, and I wanna you make it so good I don't